Smart objects are one of the most powerful features in Photoshop. They let you resize, edit, and organize elements in your design non-destructively. Once you understand how they work, your entire workflow can level up. To help you really understand smart objects, we're going to build a clean poster layout using just 2 elements. In this lesson, you'll learn how to spot a smart object versus a raster layer, how to convert and edit a smart object, and how they behave when resized and modified. Before we start, make sure to download the project assets. They're linked in the video description. To create a simple poster, we will use a background layer and a logo. Setup: building the workspace. Step 1. Create the document. Go to File, New, and set your width to 2000 pixels. Then your height to 2500 pixels, and then your resolution size to 72 pixels per inch. Then select Create. Now save your file by going to File, Save As. At the top, you can name it Lesson 10 Project, and in the drop-down menu at the bottom, make sure the Photoshop file extension is selected. Finally, select a secure location, like your desktop, and press Save. Step 2. Bring in the logo. First of all, open your downloaded assets folder and drag your logo file into Photoshop. Photoshop will automatically place it as a smart object, and you'll see the transform box around it. Before we do anything else, press Enter to confirm the placement. Part 1. Raster versus Smart Object Demo. Step 1. Duplicate the logo. In the Layers panel, right-click your logo layer and choose Duplicate Layer. And it's also possible to duplicate layers with a keyboard shortcut. This can be done by selecting the layer you want to duplicate and then pressing Command J on Mac or Ctrl J on Windows. Now you'll have 2 identical logo layers stacked on top of each other. Now we can use the Move tool found in the toolbar on the left to move the duplicated logo to the side. Step 2. Rename the layers. Let's stay organized with our layers. Rename the top layer Logo Smart and rename the bottom layer Logo Raster. Step 3. Rasterize the bottom layer. Right-click on the Logo Raster layer and choose Rasterize Layer. This layer is now just using regular pixels, and you will now know that's the case as there is no smart object icon in the layer thumbnail. So, this sets us up for a side-by-side comparison. Step 4. Resize both logos. Select the first logo layer. Hold Command T on Mac or Ctrl T on Windows to enter the free transform state. Next, hold Shift Option on Mac or Shift Alt on Windows. And drag a corner to resize the logo proportionately, so it's much smaller in size. And finally, press Enter on your keyboard to confirm. Next, I will repeat the process to scale down the raster version. And at this point, we need to scale up the logos again. Select the first logo layer, hold Command T on Mac or Ctrl T on Windows to enter the free transform state. Next, hold Shift Option on Mac or Shift Alt on Windows. And drag a corner to resize the logo proportionately, so it's bigger in size. And finally, press Enter on your keyboard to confirm. and repeat the process to scale up the raster version as well. Step 5. Zoom in to compare quality. Use the zoom tool by pressing Z on your keyboard, and look closely at the edges of each logo. The smart object should stay sharp and clean, and the raster layer should look pixelated and blurry. You see, that's the magic of smart objects. They preserve the original quality of the layer even after resizing. Part 2. Clean up the workspace. Now that you've seen the difference and learned about the benefit of smart objects, delete the raster logo. You can do this by selecting the raster layer and pressing the bin icon at the bottom of the layers panel. Step 1. Add the background image. Now let's drag in the background image. Photoshop will once again place it as a smart object, and press Enter to confirm its placement. And make sure to move this layer below the logo layer by dragging it down in the Layers panel. Step 2. Position and resize the background image. Select the background layer, press Command-T on Mac or Control-T on Windows to enter the free transform state. Hold Shift-Option on Mac or Shift-Alt on Windows and drag a corner of the image to scale it up proportionately. Make sure the background fills the entire canvas. Then press Enter on your keyboard to confirm. Step 3. Position the logo. Next, we can use the Move tool found in the toolbar on the left to move the logo in an ideal position. Something like this looks great. Part 3. Editing the smart object. Step 1. Double-click the logo thumbnail. In the Layers panel, double-click the thumbnail icon of the logo layer. This will open a new tab where you can edit it. Step 2. Make a change. Inside this tab, you can do anything, such as add a shape, add text, paste a graphic, or add a background color. Think of this tab like a mini Photoshop file inside of your original Photoshop file. This logo was already customized and exported, so you won't be able to adjust things like the shadow effects on this particular layer, but this is something we can cover in a separate lesson. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I will add a hue saturation adjustment layer to change the color of the logo. Then, I will save the smart object by going to File, Save. And after this point, I can close this tab. And when I'm back in the main Photoshop file, you'll see the changes update instantly. Now, if I double-click the thumbnail icon of the logo again, and delete this adjustment layer, and once again save the file, then close the tab, you'll see that the logo is back to its original state. Part 4. What are smart objects really? Smart objects are containers. They wrap your content and protect it. They allow you to scale layers non-destructively from their original size, edit filters and add adjustments, and create linked components between different files. They work especially well in templates and modular projects where you only need to edit specific parts of a document on a frequent basis. And the things to keep in mind are that you cannot directly paint or erase a smart object. If you do, you'll see this warning message. Be careful not to press OK as this will rasterize your layer and delete the contents of the smart object. Smart objects can also increase the overall file size or make your system slow down. And if you need to do pixel level editing, you may need to make a backup copy of your smart object so that you can rasterize it and make other important changes. Nice work! You didn't just place a logo on a background, you learned how to work smart with smart objects, keeping your design clean, editable, and future-proof. These are the kind of skills that quietly level up your game, and now you've got them in your toolkit. You're on a roll, and this is just the beginning. Now, are you ready for the next lesson?